Could Universal UK be getting an upgraded version of one of the best coasters in the world? When you look at the concept art Universal released last year for their upcoming park in the UK, the two things that stand out immediately to most theme park fans are the two gigantic coasters planned for the west and north sides of the park. Due to the track switches and the spikes on the blue coaster, most people are under the impression that it'll be an Intamin-made design. But what about that green coaster to the north? I've heard suggestions it could be a B&M Wing or Flyer, or even an Intamin Blitz like Velocicoaster over in Orlando. But hear me out for a second, because after staring at this art for a while, I've come up with my own take on what that could possibly be. What if Universal UK was in line to receive the world's newest MACK Xtreme Spinner? I know it seems kind of crazy, but in this video, I'm going to be going over my thought process and translating this into this. My name's Crispy, and welcome to my Universal UK Jurassic Coaster Deep Dive. Alright, starting off with the station area. The final breaks and station were pretty clear in the concept art, so I didn't really have much room for creativity in that spot. But the pre-lift, though, wasn't very defined, which gave me an opportunity to figure out for myself how to connect that area. Ride to Happiness starts off with a roll right out of the gate, which, while really popular with enthusiasts, I thought would just be a touch too intimidating for the average Universal guest, so I went with a few reversed bank hills, which I thought could be really fun with the spinning seats. After passing underneath the final brake run, the train rises up into the 140-foot lift hill. The lift hill was pretty well defined in the concept art as well, but I thought making the second half of the lift a launch would be a really fun way to get the ride going. After hitting a perfect 0 Gs, you twist hard to the left and into the first of 3 big helixes that will lead you through a couple different dyno enclosures. Rising up out of that helix, you will enter the inversion that really made me think this had a possibility to be an extreme spinner. Check out this inversion on Ride to Happiness and tell me that doesn't remind you of this one shown in the concept art here. You roll up into it from a different direction, but it's essentially the same rollover dive loop, except much bigger. Coming out of the dive loop, you'll fly underneath an animatronic dino tail and up into the third inversion, a standard stall, which I think could feel extremely crazy with the spinning cars. This flies directly over a few trees and into another section of the concept art that's a little blurry and nebulous. A lot of people think the stall connects to the track above, but I really think it actually slides down lower into that diving right turn seen underneath. Since it was darkened a little bit in the concept art, I just decided to make that whole section a tunnel. After a quick S-turn in the tunnel, you pop back out and up and over a pathway to what looks to me to be a large airtime hill leading down into the lake section of the ride. I did take a little bit of artistic liberty here around this drop because the heights of everything around this area got a little confusing for me based on the concept art. It sort of looks like the lake sits a ways below the main pathway that the ride hops over, but the angles of some of the pathways around it started to be a little confusing. So for the sake of the project, I just made that whole section below with the lake and building lower than the rest of the land by about 60 feet or so. This let it match up more closely with the waterfalls and bridges over in front of the dark ride. After the big lake turn comes a couple back-to-back rising S-turns that would lead up into what looked in the concept art to be a big wave turn over another dyno enclosure. A sharp turn to the right after the wave turn lines the ride up for its big finale. And since this was yet another part of the concept art that gets a little blurry and undefined, it was up to me to figure out how to connect that S-turn to the back section that ends the ride. And since MACK is all about midway boosts, I decided to make a double-up boost since curved launch sections are kinda all the rage now. After the LSM boost, you will dive to the right into a rocky trench and then up into the ride's signature element. A wave turn that transforms into a death roll halfway through, above the Jurassic Park gates. I tried hard to nail that MACK kind of weirdness in this element, something that would look like a natural evolution of that Hyperia roll. After hitting ground level again comes the third big helix, this time around a large mountain, which honestly I think I need to go in and make a little more fancy because that does not look that great from this angle. After popping up one last time, you will slide down and into the final brakes, which I covered in a Velocicoaster-esque kind of truss, just to try and tie the whole theme together a little bit more. And there you have it. For those of you anticipating a POV at the end of this, you have my sincerest apologies, but it just is not ready yet. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on those notifications because that will be incoming very, very soon. Thanks again everyone for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this deep dive into my Universal UK Jurassic coaster concept. I'm hoping to make this a regular thing for all of my concepts, so please tune in and let me know if there's a specific one you'd like to see. My name's Crispy, these are my coasters, and I will catch you next time.